How's it going, everybody? Nerds Rising here, and welcome back to the Nerd Cave. In today's video, we are going to be trying out something a little bit different, something that you guys may have seen on other channels, but what we're going to be doing is a Guess the ELO series. And what that means is I'm not going to be showing you guys the ELO of this battler before the battle starts, and we're going to watch a set of 5 here and see if we can guess what ELO these battles are played at. So, huge thank you to JFaustino21 for sending these in. Really cool team. We have the Drifblim with the double debuff moves, and then a double water backline. And I imagine probably the Quag is going to be the safe switch on the team. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't watched all these battles, but I'm looking forward to seeing these. And let me know in the comments before you get to the end of the video what ELO you think these battles are played at. And before we get into the video here, it is going to be a little bit shorter, so I want to give you guys a couple quick announcements. The first one is I'm going to be changing my battle submission form a little bit. I've had requests to do different styles of videos, like for example, the Guess the ELO series was one of the requests I've gotten recently. I've also gotten some requests for viewer submitted battles where I do like a full breakdown of the battles, almost like coaching kind of. So what I'm going to do, I think, is on my battle submission form, I'm going to have a question that asks, how would you like me to shoutcast your battles? Do you want like a more traditional style shoutcast, or a Guess the ELO, or a full battle breakdown, or whatever else I come up with? I'm going to put that on the battle submission form. So keep that in mind. I do like to shake things up a bit on this channel. I'm still trying to kind of figure out a schedule, maybe where I do like a certain type of video at a certain time of the month. But anyway, make sure you check out my battle submission form. And also, I have another battle submission form for my top wins of the month series. That's going to be coming here probably at the very last day of July, or maybe August 1st. I'm going to put that out. So if you want your battle feature for the top wins of July, make sure you get it sent in to me here in the next couple days. I will have a link to that in the description as well. So both the battle forms will be in the description. And as well, if you guys feel like it, I did create a Discord recently. If you want to come hang out with me on Discord, I do show you guys my teams there. It's just a bunch of really awesome people over there. It's already grown quite a bit, so it's been really cool to see. So if you're on Discord, come check us out. I will have a link to the Discord link in the description as well, and that is totally free. I do not have a paid Discord. Probably not going to be happening in the future either. So just come on over and hang out with us if you want to. And without any further ado, let's check out JFaustino's battles, and let's see if we can guess the ELO of this battler. And we'll see. Let's get right into it. This is Open Great League, by the way, if I didn't mention that. And in the first battle here, we have an amazing lead, a Jump Pluff. And this is exactly where you want to see the Jump Pluff if you're running a double water backline. So I like this play. He goes straight for the Icy Wind here. And this is probably going to be guaranteeing a shield, because Icy Wind, it wouldn't one-shot, but it would do massive damage. And the opponent did do 5 Bullet Seeds here. So this could be an acrobatics, and it is an acrobatics, and he does shield it up. And the opponent brings in a G-Fisk here, and I like this play. Gonna chip with a Mystical Fire. Nice move timing there. And probably gonna be dipping, I would guess, into the Quagsire, but we'll have to see here. And no, actually brings in the Lantern and makes the catch on the Rock Slide. Very nicely done there. And I guess this makes sense because 2 Surfs is going to be KOing after that little bit of Hex damage from the Drifblim, and I don't think an Earthquake one-shots the Lantern from this range since the opponent's debuff, but we'll have to see. And I don't even think, I'm not even sure if the opponent built up to it. Maybe they did, but he's going to call the bait here either way. Calls the Rock Slide, very nicely done, and now should outpace the G-Fisk here to a move, and actually throws on CMP there, so very nicely done so far by this battler. Probably going to KO the G-Fisk here since they shielded already. And yeah, they actually, no, they had no shields already. They've used both of their shields, and they bring back in the Jump Left. Going to throw the Thunderbolt right away, and this might even have been a CMP time. Not sure, but we're looking to be in a really good position here. Still has a shield left, still has switch advantage, and then switches into the Quagsire. Oh my goodness. Maybe trying to catch an acrobatics, but this is definitely not the play. Energy Ball one-shots the Quag. Oh my gosh. So basically just fully sacked the Quag there. Maybe assuming that Jump Pluff is going to be the only thing that can beat. I honestly don't have an answer for why he just did that. You love to see the Quagsire getting one-shotted. So Quagsire gets one-shotted. Fortunately, the opponent does have a Medicham in the back, and this should be pretty straightforward. Now, I'm not running Shadow Ball, unfortunately, but these Icy Winds are going to add up quite a bit. Nice charge move timing there. Throwing after 1 Hex. That's how you want to do it when you're running a 3-turn move into a 1-turn move, and this is now a double debuffed Ice Punch, so not going to be doing a lot of damage. easily is tanked by the Drifblim, and now I think an Icy Wind will probably KO from here, and actually pivots back into the Lantern, probably just to force the opponent's energy. Yeah, it makes quite a bit of sense. Opponent's gonna be forced to throw. This Ice Punch actually might not even KO. It doesn't even KO, and Medi gets the farm down, but it does not matter. Drifblim is absolutely loaded, and that jump pluff is pretty low, and this is gonna be a GG. So, nicely played in game 1. I truly am not sure why he just fully sacked the Quag, but ends up getting a pretty comfortable win in the end either way. So nice first battle there, and as you see, we are cutting out that ELO in the beginning, so you guys cannot see what ELO this is at. And now we have a Snorlax lead here, so pretty kind of an awkward matchup where obviously the licks are super effective here, but the charge moves from Snorlax are going to be doing absolutely nothing to the Drifblim here. So going to actually chip first and gets a shield. That's incredible. And now actually is going to safe switch to the Lantern. So I like this play quite a bit. Gets the debuff off, and then that kind of forces the Snorlax to switch out. And what did the opponent bring in? They brought in a Shadow Muck, actually. Pretty cool pick from the opponent here. But I don't think that this is a very good matchup for the Muck. Lantern's just going to be out bulking it, and they do commit their second shield. So this is looking really good, and I like this no shield quite a bit, because at the very worst, this is a Dark Pulse, which he could live, and some of these Mucks, as you just saw there, do like to run Acid Spray. So I really like that no shield there, and he's actually going to get the undercharge here, get a couple more sparks in, and what this does is it puts the Lantern low. That way, the Snorlax is not going to get a lot of farm when it comes back in. So very high-level play there. I like that quite a bit. Maybe going to come back in with the Drifblim to absorb the charge moves, but no, actually going to respect a move here. Maybe calling like they could be on Outrage or something. So I guess that's fair. The Snorlax did have a lot of energy, but now going to shield again. Oh no, this is definitely not the play. That's double resisted damage there. Most Snorlaxes are either on Body Slam Superpower or Body Slam and Earthquake. All three of those are going to be actually double resistant, and actually the Superpower would be triple resistant there. So you definitely don't want to be shielding a Snorlax if you're running a Ghost type. So does actually double shield the Drifblim here, but should still be okay. They've got an Altaria in the back, and they actually caught the Icy Wind onto the Altaria. So questionable play as well by the opponent. And now we have a Stone Edge loaded for the Altaria. I really like this play as well. Over farming massively. That way he has energy for the Snorlax. So we're seeing some pretty high-level plays, honestly, from this battler. And then occasionally we're seeing some very questionable decisions like shielding the Snorlax and things like that. But yeah, this should be a pretty straightforward win at this point. I think maybe could have just gone for... yeah, I think double Mud Bomb was definitely the play there, yeah, because one Stone Edge wouldn't have KO'd, so yeah, double Mud Bomb, definitely the play. Gets another win here in Game 2. Nicely played so far by Jay Faustino, or Faustino, I'm not sure how to say his name. Sorry, I'm probably butchering it. I normally do butcher it. I'm just an uncultured white guy, you know. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce names sometimes. And we have a Alolan Ninetales safe switch here in the next battle, and I like this play quite a bit. Gonna throw the Mystical Fire here for some chip damage, gets a shield, and brings in the Lantern. And I actually like this play quite a bit. Even though the Quagsire does have Stone Edge, the Lantern is going to be resisting the Weather Balls and the Powder Snows. And this is going to force them to go for their non-stab, either Psyshocks or their Dazzling Gleam. And since they're debuffed, as you see, these moves are just doing absolutely nothing. So Lantern very, very easily can take this mid-game matchup and probably overfarm massively and come out of here with a lot of energy. So I like the way he's playing this. The opponent double shields their debuffed Ninetales, so definitely should be not shielding that, recognizing that they're debuffed and basically recognizing that their A9 is basically useless at this point because he's still not even in Psyshock range. Gonna respect it. Maybe just recognizing that the opponent is shielding, so they maybe weaken the back to the Lantern and wants to preserve some HP on it. So I understand that, but easily going to take out the Ninetales. Still has a shield advantage here. And what are they going to come back in with? They come back in with that Medicham and should be able to make a Surf here. And I think maybe you should just commit to the Thunderbolt there to either force the opponent to throw or do big damage. But now going to pivot back into the Drifblim, recognizing that the Medi's low at this point. So even if they switch out, the Medi can definitely be taken care of by the Quag at this point. And also recognizing that with a little bit of an energy head start, the Drifblim is going to be able to debuff whatever they have in the back. So throws the Mystical Fire here, is going to get the farm down, can easily tank this debuffed Ice Punch, and now we're going to see what that final Pokemon is. And I actually really like the double debuffed Drifblim in this meta. Obviously, you kind of lose that nuke potential with the Shadow Ball, but the fact that you have the fire coverage and the ice coverage just gives you some really, really nice matchups. Like, the G-Fisk matchup is just way, way better now. with Mystical Fire than with Icy Wind Shadow Ball. I'm not sure what PvPoke is recommending. I think it still recommends having Shadow Ball. I can't remember. I think it might actually be Shadow Ball and Mystical Fire. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but I think you still do typically want to have Shadow Ball. But honestly, Drifblim with the double debuff here is actually putting in quite a bit of work. So nicely played in that battle. Gets a clean sweep there with the Drifblim. And again, this is only a set of 5, so I believe we only have 2 battles left. So into the 4th battle here, very nice lead into an Altaria. And all 3 of these Pokemon actually do have some pretty nice neutral play against Altaria. So gonna go straight for the Icy Wind. This makes sense. Want to get this debuff off as quick as you can. And the opponent is staying in, and they no-shield that. And now I like this play. Gonna bring in the Quag. Maybe, yeah, I don't mind this. I think overall Quagsire is a safer safe swap than Lantern, so I don't mind this play at all. Gonna overfarm here and actually gonna go for a Mud Bomb. I think maybe you should just go for the Stone Edge here because the opponent, yeah, I was gonna say the opponent's already in a rough spot. They're already debuffed, they're already low, so it's pretty unlikely that them being that low that they were gonna shield that Mud Bomb. So I think the play there was just a full send the Stone Edge, but either way, still gonna maintain alignment here and still does have a little bit of energy left. Can he make another move? And no, they have a Charm Ninetales. So I think here you probably, I don't mind bringing in the Drifblim here. This makes sense because you want to get that debuff off, force a shield, and then I think you kind of have to bring in the Lantern. You could even try to catch, and the opponent actually let that go. So maybe calling that he was on Icy Wind, but the opponent here has not used a shield yet, and they throw the Weather Ball onto the Lantern, and there's a Swampert in the back. So this game is definitely not over. He still does have 2 shields, but I'm thinking this is going to be a bit of a bait game now. Do you respect the Earthquake? No. Gonna call the bait here, and the opponent does bait. Very nice call there. And now I think he should be in a pretty dominant position. This is actually just a Hydro Cannon, but the Lantern is getting fairly low, so I don't mind the shield here, but I think at this point, I think maybe you still do need to shield the Lantern because the issue is if he lets the Lantern go down, he probably gets charmed down by the Ninetales in the back, so I don't mind shielding the Lantern here. Does need to probably preserve some HP to deal with this Ninetales later on, but now I think you could pretty safely let the Lantern go down. Now, I really like this play, and now you have the Drifblim. You should be able to come in here with the Drifblim, get an energy head start, shield up their move, and overfarm enough to where you have enough HP to take care of this A9 when it comes back in. So needs to overfarm by a little bit here, and perfect overfarm. Now he should have enough HP to where he can get this Mystical Fire off on the Ninetales before the Charms take him out. And they just threw a Weather Ball, so they're energy dry. Very nice endgame there. Drifblim once again showing that the double debuffs have some pretty nice potential there with coverage on the water types and the ice types. So well played 4th battle, and I believe we are moving on into the final battle, guys. So make sure you let me know in the comments before we get to the end what ELO are these battles played at. And also let me know if you like this format in general. Not something I've done before, but if you guys enjoy it, maybe I will do it again in the past. And I like the way he plays this, throws on CMP, and this may potentially, excuse me, I'm gonna say may force a shield, may scare the opponent into shielding since it was a CMP type, but they actually let it go. Again, 2 Altarias now in a row not shielding their Icy Winds there. And I like this play, has such a hard response to Azu here that there's really no reason to chip there. Some of us might have been tempted to just throw the debuffing move anyway into the Azu, but it's really just not that necessary because Lantern has such a good matchup here that Lantern can very comfortably tank 2 play roughs and not really be in danger of being bubbled down. So really well played so far. Kind of hard countering the opponent as well, but you know, that is just how the game goes. Is going to shield. I don't really think you had to shield here. I don't hate it, because going to come out of this matchup with some health now, but could have just played out the zeros there, and I doubt that the opponent's going to be shielding. Okay, but I know literally nothing, guys. The opponent shielded their Azu, and they actually pivot out of there, so that kind of makes sense. They shield up so they can switch back out, but yeah, he's just got this opponent pretty hard countered here. They've got a G-Fisk in the back, he's got a Quagsire, and should get to 2 Mud Bombs here before the G-Fisk makes 2 Earthquakes, and it looks like this might have been a CMP tie, so maybe the opponent here is just settling for the Rock Slide, I believe. Yeah, they're probably just settling for the Rock Slide, but this is not going to KO. This Mud Bomb will KO, and then he already has the Thunderbolt loaded for the... I believe he already has the Thunderbolt loaded for the the Azu, and he has the Icy Wind loaded for the Altaria, so this should be a good game. I like this play as well. Let's his Quagsire get really low. That way the Altaria doesn't get a lot of farm, but it really doesn't matter because Drifblim would be winning CMP anyway. So gonna throw the Icy Wind here. This is gonna take this out, Altaria out, and then already has the move banked on the Lantern, and probably just gonna come in and snipe. Very nicely done. Very, very well played. Obviously, he did kind of hard counter the opponent there, but to be honest, sometimes it's not always that straightforward to win when you hard counter your opponent, because one mistake loses you switch advantage, and then you're in for a world of hurt oftentimes. So now that we're at the end of the video, let's see what ELO these battles were played at. And again, thank you to Jay Faustino for sending these in. Really fun battles, and there's our ELO. We're at 1970, so ace player. But to be honest, the reason I'm doing this Guess the ELO series is so that people of all skill levels can send in their battles. Obviously, we all love to see the crazy legend plays and things like that, but you know what? There's a lot of people out there that are just having fun in GBL and making some decently good plays as well. And I think we can probably feature some more battles like this in the future, whether it's Guess the ELO or whether it's in like a move or like a battle breakdown type format. But either way, it doesn't really matter what ELO you're at. If you're in the 3500s and you want to send me in battles for Guess the ELO, feel absolutely free to do so. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you did, and make sure you leave a like as well, because likes really do help the YouTube algorithm push my content out to more viewers. And that being said, thank you again, and if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because the more subscribers we can get, the more Pokemon my wife will let me play.